Hello, all. Welcome to Black Girl in the World. If you don't know me, you will. And if you do, welcome back. I want to throw as many episodes as I can, respectfully. I understand everyone has a life, but I just want to be your background noise when you do everything, you know? I want to be there when you're cleaning the bathroom, folding your laundry, and ordering food at the Little Caesars drive-thru. Can I be that for you? If you said yes, great. Let's move forward. The topic of the day is switching majors. I will be discussing a little background from high school to present time, my family's reaction, and what I have learned that may help you or someone you know. I don't even know why I hadn't thought of this before, but my mom brought it up and a light bulb went off in my head, and I knew this would be the perfect time to share because we are starting a new year and so many of us switched our majors or thought about it but never really got the chance to do it. So here's my journey. When I attended high school, I was in love with the study of psychology. I loved understanding how people interacted with each other and generated ideas and behaviors by using their mind. There are just so many levels to psychology that people may talk about but rarely think it is important, such as social, educational, abnormal psychology, personality, sports psychology, even Black psychology has become a prevalent conversation on alternative media. I just loved everything about it, but keep in mind, this was around, let's say, 2013 to 2016, and I tell you the years because the way how people thought about certain majors probably changed their view on them now. Am I wrong? I say that because I would always get asked by my family members, hey, so how's school? When are you going to graduate and what do you want to major in? No conversation of what my next step would be besides school. Just asking what I will be doing in college because they already assumed that was where I was going. I told them psychology is what I wanted to major in, and not many people were excited about that. I remember one particular family friend couldn't even hide their reaction because they didn't find that area of study to be nothing but a waste of time. I also believe that they thought it was very scary because of the association with therapy and mental illnesses. Honestly, it really shouldn't be frightening. Yes, learning about it may be information overload, and you may end up self-diagnosing, but we cannot hide from the reality of making sure you and your peers are okay and seeking support for that. Just remember, it is okay. Sorry for that mini rant, but I will make an episode about that situation soon. I remember the same family friend I spoke about would keep asking me if I was still majoring in that, as if the name can't even be spoken of. You guys, I was a very hurt kid, okay? Because you have so many older folks around you trying to figure out what you want to do, but swaying your point of view of what you wanted. My brain was, and still has the tendency to be so malleable. I just wanted my family to be proud of me. I felt like people were pressuring me to get a doctorate in psychology because if you are going to major in that, they think I wasn't going to make any money unless I graduated in a higher degree than that. So I changed shortly to nursing before I graduated high school. Yes, we will get into why I chose nursing shortly. I went to community college with my mind set on nursing. I wanted to make sure my knowledge and the bag was secured. I felt like nursing was a growing market, so it wouldn't be hard for me to just graduate and immediately get a job. They pay well, and there are also different fields in nursing. I have family members who pursued the nursing field, so it's not like I wasn't aware of the opportunities. And this was an area of study that people would better understand. What I wanted to do was have more research in neonatal nursing. I wanted to be as close to babies as I possibly could because I just love babies and I love children so much. So I was trying to do neonatal nursing, which is tending to sick children. My friend and I were prepping for the nursing program at our community college because it was just so popular there and there was limited seating, so there was more pressure on your grades. I was really nervous, I was feeling like I was going to fail every last one of these prerequisites, and I didn't even register for the nursing classes yet. It was the anatomy, pre-calculus, and microbiology that were kicking my behind and making me cry after every practical. I always had an admiration for the field because of how broad it was and how guaranteed the money would be. But did I genuinely enjoy doing it as a career? As I was pondering this question and growing into who I was at my school, I was working at a newspaper, creating my brand with a blog and a YouTube channel. I was growing a love for sharing different messages to inform the public. I loved hearing what the people had to say and implementing that. Keep in mind, the days are coming down to graduating and transferring or enrolling into their nursing program. My friend and I are so scared because we both had the same idea. We did not want to do nursing like we said we wanted to when we first graduated high school. One day, I got to school and she was late to class. And if you know me, you would know I am a fashionably late person, so she was definitely late if she came later than me. And she told me, yo, I did it. I changed my major. Not only was I happy, I was super relieved. I'm thinking, girl, you didn't even wait for me. I'm scheduling my appointment with an advisor right now because I am definitely not interested in this major anymore. I marched right down to the advising center and scheduled an appointment. An advisor approaches me, assuming I was going forth with nursing, and before I could even say anything, or he didn't even let me go into the room first. He brings me a piece of paper in front of everyone in the advising office and basically says to me that I would have to speak with the nursing advisors because I was practically done with my prerequisites. Therefore, my field of study is more concentrated now, so I have to speak with people who are more experienced in that. And I said, yes, sir, about that. That's what I wanted to talk about because I don't want to do that no more. I would like to transition into something different. And when I tell you, he was so alarmed. Like, he's looking at me like, how could you possibly switch after you did courses that were targeted towards this area of study, like, so late into the field? But I stood firm in my belief. I was just no longer interested in doing this kind of work anymore. But what did I want to major in? I could do public health, but I wasn't so sure. Maybe something in teaching? Not so sure about that either. Then I really thought about the amount of things that I was doing in terms of the newspaper, in terms of writing, in terms of journaling, in terms of reading. And I was just thinking to myself over and over again, what major around that could I possibly do? Let's think. Oh my goodness. I can major in communications. I have dipped in communications pretty good. And so far, maybe that's something I can look into, So I went to an advisor and did just that. I transferred into communications. Shortly before I graduated the community college, So my friend and I, we changed to journalism, communications. It was a little bit weird of all that, and we will soon talk about that because I have asked my friend to join me on this podcast to discuss what exactly happened at that school and how that definitely affected us into the schools we are at now. The hard part was telling my parents. My friend and I are literally staring at each other, trying to figure out, all right, so how are we gonna tell them and when should we tell them? I decided I was going to tell my mom first, maybe a day or two after I changed my major, just to really think about what exactly am I gonna tell this woman? I was sweating so hard. I told her I had something to say. And I didn't want her to get mad at me. I said, Mommy, sit down. Please don't get mad at me. I just want to express this. I don't usually do this. So she definitely was sitting there listening like, okay, what do you have to say to me? And after I told her, I just felt this huge weight lift off my shoulders for some weird reason. It felt like this breath I was holding on for so long for some reason just got let out. My mom, of course, she asked me a couple of questions about my desired major that I was going with now. Basically just asking me, what school am I going to transfer to now? What job opportunities will be there for me for this major? What degree I wanted to get out of it and just such. Because this was still a huge change for me. And honestly, I didn't really know anyone that was a journalism or communications major except for maybe 2 or 3 of my friends. And even then, I never really asked what it was like. So I was going into it blindly. I just knew nursing wasn't for me anymore. Then my mom said something that stuck with me. You know what she said? She said, I didn't really see the nursing thing on you, but I supported your decision anyway. But communications, okay, I can see that. Are you serious? You saw me struggle with my identity and supported my decisions regardless of not understanding like a decent parent? How dare you? Why couldn't you crush my dream from the beginning and tell me I don't look like a nurse? So I continue pursuing that, right? Telling my dad was a little bit easier because, we weren't in any school debt for him to say, hey, I paid all this money for you to pursue nursing, so this is how you repay me. I kind of had it a little easy. So he respected my decision as well as my mom. And also agreed about the next steps from community college and how communication fit into that. Honestly, I'm just truly grateful for my parents and their understanding when it comes on to school. Because they may not know everything that goes on, but they do understand the foundation and see that you can really be the best at anything you are interested in. There's literally a category for everything and anything, and just because the majority does not favor it does not mean you can't continue to pursue and excel in that. My aunts shared their ideas about my transition, and they all really have been very supportive. And a lot of people even told me that they didn't see nursing on me, and I was just like, really, guys? Y'all too? I don't look like a nurse? Am I hurt? Is this what hurt feels like? All in all, what I'm trying to say from this long segment about transitioning majors is do what makes you happy and will help you progress in the future. If you see future in that major, write some plans. How will you strive to be the best chef, the best mechanic, the best dietitian, the best accountant, the best congressperson? Switch the major if you have the ability to. Find what makes you happy and what drives you to success. You have the ability to do what pleases you. And if you feel like your parents are hounding you about school and choosing your major for you, I'll give you just a little tip. A tip I will share with you is We have these things called electives, correct? Now, I'm not telling you to do everything you please with no regards to how your parents feel. However, through these electives, do what you love. Or just do something you want to try out that you've always thought you wanted to try. Yeah, you got to take those required courses for your cybersecurity major that you hate. But you know what? You can always look forward to learning more about a different language from your favorite Spanish teacher because you have always wanted to be a translator in your community. You see that example that I gave? School will drive you insane. So please just try to find the small joys where you see fit so you can establish good memories every semester. All right, y'all, this is all I got for right now. I plan on making an episode about how I transitioned from community college to a 4-year school and what is it like now, maybe with a guest. Like I mentioned earlier, this is probably the same episode that I was just talking about, and more episodes to come. So please hound me about these episodes because sometimes I tend to forget, but I will try not to this year. I'm going to be much better than I was last year. But until then, be safe. Happy New Year, and bye!